Okay, everybody, it is me, Gregory Mannarino. It is Monday, March 7th, 2022. Two words, oil shock. Are you watching crude oil, people? It's gone out of control. Again, no surprise to you. I've explained that you were going to see much higher crude oil prices since I don't know how long. Well, last night, crude oil topped $130 a barrel. Why? Well, there's talk about an oil embargo on Russia, cutting trade, all kinds of things are in play. What's actually going to happen? Who freaking knows in this absolute freak show? Natural gas out of control, commodities skyrocketing. I mean, it's just wild and it's crazy. And again, if you got into that ETF, PDBC, a couple of weeks ago, to say the least, you are a happy camper today. But let's not lose sight of the fact that there's a war going on right now, people. And it's a terrible thing to see unfold here. The world is watching as this is going on. And who knows where that's going to go as well. All we do know is the mechanism to continue to fuel the monster, which is this global debt hyperbubble, is now, it's gone crazy as well. We are in overdrive, hyperdrive, and we haven't seen anything yet with regard to that either. This scheme, because that's what it is, must and will be kept in place to keep central banks at the top of the food chain. I mean, that's really what this is all about. I think you get it if you follow this blog, but it's in our face. And they're going to do more. I've explained to all of you to expect anything, that they will do things that you can't believe, that you can't even think of or dream about, to make sure that the debt-based economic model remains, in its current state of affairs, meaning it must be fueled, it must be fed, and they don't care how many people they have to kill, slaughter, maim, cause to suffer. That's really what this is about. Again, crisis to crisis to crisis. Who knew? Who really knew that to cure COVID, all we needed was a war and to inflate the debt? Well, I'm laughing, but it's pathetic. And you can expect a lot more of this moving forward, more propaganda, more distractions, more look here. It's gone completely nuts, people. Anyway, so with regard to taking advantage of this whole thing, people, look, you can't sit back and do nothing. You have to take action against the debt hyperbubble and against all this other shit that's going on. Again, that ETF I told you about, it's going crazy right now. Oil and gas companies, defense contractors, if you are so inclined here. And then look for bargains. Look for things that are on sale for the longer run in the market. And specifically, tech has gotten so beat up recently over the past few months. I mean, it's gone stupid. Okay, there's a lot of deals in tech companies. I still think you should be looking at the Qs here. Getting in at these ridiculously low prices. Banks too. Again, there's speculation on risk with regard to exposure to Russian debt. But this is going to, the Fed is going to bail out the banks. The Fed will bail out the banks again, and you're going to do it as well, in case you don't know. It's always the same story here, people. So right now, stock futures are lower. Nothing dramatic, well off the lows from last night. But right now, we're about 40 minutes from the opening bell. And that means the market is going to fall under pressure initially. Let's see how this plays out. 10-year yield stable. Dollar a little higher. Gold flat. Silver under some pressure right now. And you got cryptocurrencies relatively flat. Bitcoin around 39,000. That's the setup here, people. But again, I'm telling you, be ready for anything. anything. Be ready for them to do things that you can't believe moving forward. Look, the whole world, I've explained to you, is nothing but a chessboard where pieces are being moved around and people are being played. They are being played like a grand piano, and they're dying and they're suffering. We all knew this. We all knew this would happen from years ago because I've explained this to you repeatedly, over and over and over, what they would do just to keep the debt-based economic model going. It's the biggest curse upon the world. It's the greatest threat to humankind. And no one wants to do anything about it. I mean, you and I do, quite obviously. We want to get rid of these institutions here and their debt-based economic model. The fact that we have to transact in their product. Their product. These are not even part of governments. These are private institutions. How did that happen? How did we allow this to happen? And now that they have all this power, central banks, they're never going to give it up. They'll kill whoever they have to kill. They'll slaughter whoever they have to slaughter to make sure this keeps on going. This war is a huge part of it. It's a core part of it. Again, no other endeavor on this planet generates more cash for corporations and allows central banks to inflate more than war, than propagating wars. So this is inevitable. But if you look at the market right now, just real quick, it has held up amazingly well in the face of what is going on. The S&P 500 is like, what, 12% off of an all-time high? 12%? I don't know. Let's see where this goes, people. We know what to do. We know why we're doing it. With regard to the debt bubble, you haven't seen anything yet. It's continuing to be fueled on an epic scale, meaning you gotta hold hard assets. Physical silver will remain my favorite asset of all time. I think it's massively and incredibly undervalued. And it's the best hedge, I think, that you can imagine against surging debt. Because this debt bubble is, again, it's being fueled, but it's being fueled for a reason. At one point, this is all going to turn around and it's going to be epic. When? Don't ask me because I don't care. All I want to do is be on the right side of it and take advantage of every opportunity that we can. That's really what this is all about here. Understanding where we are right now and then looking down the pike a little further to just make sure that we are in the right spots, at least from a financial standpoint. From a human standpoint, people, we need each other more than ever. And I've been explaining this to you. What happens in one part of the world, people dying, people suffering, affects all of us, whether you realize it or not. And look what's happening around the world. Okay, we got surging inflation. This has been going on since before the war. Okay, it's out of control. People are being squeezed. They're being strangled. They're being eliminated. For how many years have I explained to you that if you're a member of the middle class, you are dying. You are dying as well. You have a target on your face. You can't get it off. And it's these institutions. It's central banks colluding with puppet governments to make sure that you're gone, that you're eliminated, you're exterminated like a bug. You understand? I think you do. So anyway, look, like I said, people, let's not lose sight of what's happening around us, but understand why it's happening, why they are doing this. Again, this is a takeover on a global scale by institutions, privately owned institutions. They're running it all. They are the puppet masters. I don't know another way to put this to you. Anyway, we got this covered. We know how to take advantage of it. It's just, look, they can throw whatever they want at us, and we're going to have a counter strategy. 5 weeks ago, I said I expected this market to be at new record highs within 6 to 8 weeks. Well, we're pretty close to that now. Obviously, we didn't have a war back then. But again, that doesn't matter. Things are going to change. The market is fluid, okay? And with regard to the war, I told you where the opportunities are if you are so inclined to take advantage of it. You understand? And I also told you what to look for longer term. Look for things that are undervalued, that are on sale. And I think there's a lot right now. All right, people, look, that's it. You know what to do. This guy, he loves you a lot. And people, just one more time. We need each other. Every Friday, I leave you off with love each other, care about each other, be charitable. I don't say these things because I think it's a nice catchphrase. I say these things because I mean it. Because without each other, we got nothing. Okay, we got to band together. We have to realize who the enemy is. It should be obvious. All right, I'm out of here. And I will see all of you at the end of the day. Please share the video.